Welcome. Hello, everybody. It is FieldTalk podcast coming at you again. It is Wednesday, November 4th, 8:38 p.m. Eastern, 5:38 Pacific. It is me, your host, FieldTalk Benzi, with the other host of the show. We're missing one, but we got at Sound Talks Soccer. How you doing, Sal?
I'm doing good, and our guy Jay dancing in the comments right now.
Oh man, he's here early. What is up, Jay? Glad for you to join us, man. So today we have for you Champions League Match Day 3 recap. Interesting 2 days of football.
More than interesting, really. Shit.
Yeah, it was loaded with a lot of interesting games. Our predictions were all over the place. I believe I did get the Porto game right, though.
I believe you did as well.
I believe, and also the City game. They replicate the same scoreline in the Premier League, and they've been replicating the same scoreline in the Champions League. I'm telling you, man, this is quite interesting. Do we have any big things that stand out from these last 2 days? Record-wise or anything that you can think of? I feel like I've read
Haaland has already passed Falcao and Tevez in goals, in Champions League goals.
That sounds ludicrous because you would imagine Falcao and Tevez are in the 30-40 range.
Yeah.
Just because of the type of players that they are and they were, especially in their younger years. So to hear that makes it seem like Falcao and Tevez didn't do anything in the Champions League.
So yeah, he has 26 goals to their 25.
Oh, okay. So they were in the 20s. I expected a little bit more, but it is insane though that Haaland has.
And it's still a long way to go as well.
Yeah, he obliterated that pretty easily, so that's insane. Another stat, goal. Since we're on the topic of goals, I feel like I read earlier that Karim Benzema is on 67. I thought when he scored yesterday that was number 68. But
shouldn't that have been it?
I think so, because I know he was 2 behind Lewandowski, and Lewandowski was at 68. He was at 66. Now Lewandowski is at 70, 1 behind Raul. And they're saying that, and Benzema scored last week, so that would have been 67.
Yeah.
And then this week would have been 68. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just pissed because that's my boy. So, got to make sure these people with the stats are on. It is, Jay, it is a crazy stat that Haaland is just banging in goals left and right. I guess we could have seen it coming because last year he was just storming in the Champions League. And I assume he continues it. Well, he pretty much is continuing it this season. If he's
from what I'm reading here, let's see. Oh no, that includes every cup. So in all competitions and cups, Benzema's at 71.
Interesting.
If you subtract Club World Cups, yeah, it should be 68.
Right? So
yeah.
Champions League on Twitter, get your stuff right. Trying my boy like that, man. Come on. Come on.
We're doing math here on this podcast. Well, to correct your mistakes.
But yeah, we gotta hold these Twitter accounts accountable. You know, uh, it's just they just putting out there wrong information. It's not cool,
All goals matter.
especially with my boy. But anywho, I think we've talked a lot about goals for the time being. Let me plug in my phone because that is exactly where I'm getting my stats from. And if my phone dies, well, I won't have much to talk about. So we begin with Group A. They all played November 3rd, which was yesterday,
Yes.
right? Yeah, yesterday. And Sal, can you give me the standings after yesterday's round of games for them?
Not much changed in that Bayern are still on top, followed by Atletico Madrid. Lokomotiv Moscow is at third, and Salzburg sitting with 1 point in last.
It's crazy comparing the Salzburg this season to last season's Champions League. It's complete night and day difference, or day and night difference. I don't know how that saying goes. I'm bad with sayings, people, so bear with me. Um, so in yesterday's game, we had Lokomotiv Moscow hosting Atletico de Madrid, and I feel like we kind of saw this coming, but I felt like it was going to be a Lokomotiv win. I do believe that's what I said in the preview, um, but ended up being a 1-1 draw. Lokomotiv with 39% possession, 61 for Atletico. Your goal scorers are Anton Miranchuk. It was a penalty in the 25th. A handball in the case where Luis Suarez got a yellow card for peeking over the ref's shoulder while he was viewing the VAR screen. That was interesting.
Oh
Luis
man.
Suarez, you're always a great class act. And I say that
Never change.
full
Never
of
change.
sarcasm. Yes. Never change, please, because you give us the funny headlines. And for Atletico Madrid, Jimenez, the Uruguayan center back, scored in the 18th minute. So Lokomotiv was lucky with that penalty. 7 minutes later, and the game just stayed that way for the rest of the way. Attempts on goal: 13 for Atletico, 3 for Lokomotiv. On target, 5 for Atletico, 1 for Lokomotiv. Um, and yeah, 5 yellow cards, which is you would have thought with 5 there would be at least one red card for Lokomotiv, but I guess 5 different players got a yellow card, so that's interesting. We move on to Salzburg hosting Bayern Munchen. Bayern obliterates RB Salzburg 6-2, and they extend their current win streak to 14 games now. We have scores in the 4th minute. Salzburg opened the game with a goal from Berisha in the
Hmm.
4th minute, and then Lewandowski scores a penalty in the 21st. Christensen for Salzburg scores an own goal in the 44th, right before halftime. So Bayern went into the locker room with a 2-1 lead. And then in the what came first? Oh,
66 minute.
Okugawa, yeah, in the 66th, ties it up 2-2. But then late in the game, Boateng in the 79th, Sane in the 83rd. Oh, wait, yeah, Sane in the
Yep.
83rd, Lewandowski again in the 88th, so he gets himself a brace. And then Hernandez, I'm going to assume that's the Frenchman,
The Hulk. Yep.
uh, in the 90th +2. So I'm going to assume they had possession and everything. Yeah, 58-42 in possession. Wow, RB Salzburg, 19 attempts on goal, 11 on target.
Hmm.
That's crazy because when you're looking here at Bayern, 21, 9 on target.
It was a better game than the scoreline gives it credit for.
Yeah. And you see it right there, 79th minute, 83rd, 88th, 90th. They just
Yeah.
ran away. It's just one of those games where they made those opportunities and they went in. So sorry, Salzburg, just wasn't your night. But we move on to Group B. Sal, and you give me the standings.
Here's the best group in all the groups.
For
Borussia
real.
Mönchengladbach top the group with 5 points. Tied at 4 points are Shakhtar and Real Madrid. And Shakhtar has the tiebreaker on that one.
Tiebreaker. Yep.
And then finally, last but not least, Milan. And little quick tidbit. What is it? Yesterday's game was 10 years ago that a certain manager who Mario loves a lot was in charge of Inter, and they went on to go win the treble that year after losing their first 2 Champions League games.
Jose Mourinho.
Yes. So we might see. Can we see history repeat itself again? Can we see them win a treble?
That would be something. I always talked. Side note: I always talked mad crap about Barca and their treble. 2 trebles now, I believe. And I always want to tell myself that it's not that cool. Nah, whatever. But not only do they have 2 trebles, they have, what is it, a 6-tuplet?
Yes.
Because they won like everything, the Super Cup, this Super Cup, like, and yeah, we do have our own records, but a treble would be nice.
The treble is the nicest out of all that you could ask for at this point.
Yeah. It really is. Even United in the Premier League have a treble. So, big clubs have achieved great things. Bayern also is another club with a treble. So it's just odd that you would think the biggest club in Europe has all the trophies, but has never attained. Don't make it. It would be hilarious if PSG don't make it out the group. Yeah, Tam. We definitely. Well, Sal is the one that predicted them.
Salstradamus predicted out of my crystal ball. I predicted that they won't, but we'll get to that when we get down to the final group. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Group H, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'll get back to the scores. So last night we had, a one-way thriller for Borussia Mönchengladbach. We love to say that name. They go over to Ukraine to play Shakhtar Donetsk and just stomp them into the ground. And it was all basically done in the first half.
I got my goals.
Actually, it was three in the first, 3 in the second. Player with a hat trick. Player low key. Not many people know about him. The only reason I know about Player is just playing FIFA. That's the only thing. Trebles in England are so much harder than any other league. Getting a treble in England puts more significance on it. I totally agree. It would be Man United the only one that has
the only one.
So there you go. It is a difficult one because the FA Cup is so wishy-washy every season. So that is true. True statement there.
I mean, if you ask Pep, he's got a treble, but it's not, the treble.
Yeah. And yeah, underrated player. He gets his hat trick. Bondar scores in his 17th own goal there from Shakhtar Donetsk. Bin Sebaini, I haven't heard that name in so long. I was like, holy crap. I didn't even hear him. I didn't hear that name when they played Real Madrid in the last match day.
He wasn't there.
Right? So, yeah. So I was super surprised to hear him because that's another great player that nobody talks about. And then Stindl in the 65th, another great player. Monchegladbach, man. Very surprising. I did not expect this. I expected him to be at least third in the group, fighting for second with Inter Milan. And Group B has just turned out to be one of the most entertaining groups out of this.
I thought I called them winning the group in second.
I think you did, because you're the Bundesliga genius here, so you know all about that. And I said they did have a good chance. I know what Borussia Mönchengladbach is all about, and that's why I said fighting for second, either in second or fighting for second with Inter Milan, and then Champions League started. We're into match day 3, and it really is. It's a tight group.
Yep.
We'll see how it all plays out. And then the other game we had in Group B was Real Madrid, Inter Milan. Bom dia, galera. the boy Rodrigo Goes with the winner in the 80th minute. 3-2 Madrid at the Di Stefano Stadium in I forget the damn place because it was called Valdebebas before, and then now I can't think about it. Anywho, Benzema opens the scoring in the 25th. Ramos with a beautiful header off a corner kick in the 33rd. And then right back in 2 minutes, Lautaro Martinez with a beautiful goal in the 35th. Perisic ties the game up in the 68th. Bad defense there by my boy Lucas Vasquez. It was very entertaining to see Lucas Vasquez and Ashley Young because they're kind of like similar in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
they can be good and they can be awful. So it was just interesting to see what was going to happen when those two just came up against each other. And then, like I said, Rodrigo Goes in the 80th minute with the winner for Madrid. Zidane said it was a final and a hard-fought one, and we get 3 points finally.
Do you think it would have been different if Lukaku was there?
I think it would have been a lot different, yeah. But Lautaro Martinez did miss a great opportunity, hit the post, but it was like the corner. It was literally like top bins. If you just move the goal slightly to the right, so that could have changed the game if that went in. It probably would have ended up 3-3, or it could have been 3-2 in Inter Milan's favor. So very hard for our game. I do expect Lukaku to be playing when we go to Inter Milan. So that game is going to be very interesting. Hopefully by then our actual right backs are playing. Have you seen the new Bernabeu redevelopment plan? Yes, I follow it super closely. There's actually an account on Twitter that I don't know by name, but it keeps you updated with every update that's going on. Right now they have the 2 cross members that is going to control the opening and closing of the roof. So it's getting there bit by bit. The inside of the stadium looks totally different, missing a chunk of field, a lot of the stands. So it's going to be interesting to see how it gets put together. I'm excited for that. And then we move into Group C. How do you feel about Group C, Sal? Besides City gets like the easy way out as always.
It's not what I expected. That's what I'm going to tell you. But again, Porto being there, kind of like we mentioned before, Porto's one of those teams that they have players that we don't know, and when they sell a player, another player comes out of the ranks that we don't know, and just never count them out. It's another Ajax. It's
another Dortmund.
Yeah, I mean it's just there. So not like it's a surprise what's going on, but I still am surprised by it.
That's why you see them in the Champions League way more than you ever see Benfica. They do have that fierce rivalry in Liga NOS, but Porto always gets the edge, and they get more and more experience every season because they make the Champions League more often than Benfica does, and Sporting Lisbon. The last time we saw Sporting Lisbon, I believe that's when Ronaldo scored against them, and he was playing for Madrid.
Dang, that long ago?
That was like what? The last time he won the Champions League, I think it was that season.
Damn, when was that? 2012?
No, 2018.
2018?
I think, yeah. Ashley Young and Lucas Vasquez are essential pieces in building a good washing machine. He continues with that.
Oh, shit.
It's your club might start, renovating our washing stores as well. So watch out.
Moving from Kiev to somewhere else.
Yeah. All right. So give me the standings for Group C, my dude.
So of course, Manchester City on top, Porto second with 6 points. So City are perfect. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Like
Porto 6, Olympiacos with 3, and finally Olympique de Marseille with 0. And I'll get to the comments afterwards from Andres Villas-Boas.
It is interesting to see Olympiacos hanging around, but they're like the other two clubs in that group that got their points off of a horrible Marseille. And I say horrible because they have not showed up like we expected them to. And yeah, that's unfortunate. So first game we had Porto versus Marseille as Big of the Devil. 3-0 win for Porto. Uh, Marega in the fourth. Sergio Oliveira, 28th penalty. I feel like I said his name last week, so the boy keeps scoring. Can you find out for me if he's like a forward or a striker or something?
Yeah, well,
And
right now.
then Luis Diaz scores in the 69th. Um, Marseille, let's see the stats. Like, how bad are you really? They're not bad at all. 59% possession, 41 for Porto. Attempts, 7 for Marseille, 6 for Porto. On target, 0 for Marseille. There's your problem. They can't get the ball actually anywhere close to the goal. 4 on target for Porto. Um, yeah. And then 5 yellow cards for Marseille. That probably doesn't help. Dangerous attacks, 39 for Marseille. I guess I don't know how dangerous it really is when you're not scoring any goals. So,
So your guy is a forward.
okay. Has to be because I read his name off last week in the recap, and then I see him again this week. So, Sergio Oliveira. I'm going to keep tabs on that name. And then we move on to City, which is, I
Well,
believe.
before we move on
Oh, yeah,
to
that's right. You
City,
had comments.
so Villa Andres Villa Boas, Marseille's manager at this point, was asked after the game what happened, and his words, and I will quote him to say exactly: "To be shit in the Champions League, you need to at least be in it. We are in it, and we are doing shit."
Wait, what? Say that again?
So his comments when he was asked why are you doing so bad, his comments were exactly, and I'm quoting him: "To be shit in the Champions League, you need to at least be in it. We are in it, and we're doing shit."
You need to at least be in it, and then we are in it, and I'm gonna go with English is not his forte. Um, like I get it in a sense, but it just I don't know, man. It's a head scratcher, and I'm legit as I'm saying that I'm scratching my head.
So he's saying, to be a horrible team in the
You have to at least
tournament,
be in
yeah,
it.
you have to be in it, right? And we're horrible, but at least we're in the tournament, so you can't really criticize us that much
Okay, I can see that.
because everybody's already, criticizing them in France about,
Yeah.
man, you're doing so great in the league. Why can't you at least, this is our first time back, yada yada. It's just like, we're just playing shit. Our team's playing shit. We're playing against teams that are better than us. That's it.
Yeah, but a very slim loss to Olympiacos, and you could have at least got a point out of that game. So Villas Boas for the dub. I'm not for the dub.
He's invoking his Mourinho right now.
He did win one with Chelsea, right? He was
Yeah.
like an interim manager or something.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe he just had the better players and stuff. I guess I don't know.
Oh man.
That was interesting. Thank you for that, Sal. Crazy head scratcher. So we
And,
move. What
and
were you?
they also have not won a Champions League game since the 2011-2012 edition of the competition.
Goodness gracious. Goodness. Ugh. All right. Good luck, Marseille. You still have 3 games to turn it around and to at least make it interesting.
Marseille gonna
Olympiacos,
Marseille.
Olympiacos, though, they're looking at Porto like, hey, we're not that far behind, so watch yourself. Manchester City hosting Olympiacos as we move into the next game of Group C. 3-0 victory. Ferran Torres in the 12th, Gabriel Jesus in the 81st, and Joao Cancelo in the 90th. So Olympiacos, like I said, got that easy, well, not easy, but got that early win against Marseille and now have dropped 2 games in a row. Man City is, I want to say, one of two teams that are
Mm-hmm.
undefeated in
The
Champions League.
only, the only, no, three teams,
We got Bayern, Manchester City,
four teams. I'm sorry, four teams.
like with full points or like
Full
just
points with full 9 points.
damn. Okay, hold on. Damn. I don't want to look. I don't want to cheat. I know it's not Chelsea. I know it's not Sevilla.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United had a shot, but they didn't. Okay, Barcelona
Yes.
and man, it's not Lazio. It's not Dortmund for sure.
Premier League.
Oh, Liverpool. That's right. Ugh. Anyways,
The disgust coming out of our mouths at this point, it's kind of
now I'm pissed.
there's only one team there where we're like, all right, but the other three were like, shit.
Yeah. Like I even showed more disgust towards Liverpool instead of like Barca, which I should have been like, ugh, even more. But yeah, Liverpool is just, I guess it's just the fan base. I guess it pisses me off the most. Anywho, 54% possession, City 46, Olympiacos, 20 attempts on goal for City, 5 for Olympiacos, 6 on target, 1 on target. Yeah. And then pass accuracy 91 to 87. Dangerous attacks 61 from Manchester City to a mere 19 for Olympiacos. So Olympiacos, hopefully you can steal a draw or something on the return in match day 4. So we move to Group D, and this is Sal. How do you feel about this, man?
This is. I didn't expect this, people. I didn't. I was
You really
expecting a
didn't.
better game, really. I mean, damn. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But
What is the standings, my guy?
Liverpool ahead. They owe Diego Jota a lot for this. Ajax and Atalanta are tied, and then poor Michelin with no points.
Atalanta and Ajax have what? 3 points? 4 points?
4 points.
4 points. Oh, that's right. They tied after, yeah. And then Ajax got this win, so they have 4. Boom. Is there any? What's the tiebreaker? I'm going to assume goal differential.
Yes.
So Ajax has that.
Yes.
Yeah, especially after this. Oof. So first game, Atalanta hosting Liverpool, and they're playing in Milan. You said right earlier.
They're playing in Brescia. They're playing in their own home stadium.
Oh, okay. So change of venue because I remember when we first talked Champions League, you were saying they're going to play Milan like they did last season. So I guess that changed, and it didn't help him out at all. Diogo Jota with the hat trick, giving, I guess, what was needed for this 5-0 victory for Liverpool. Diogo Jota scores in the 16th, the 33rd, the 54th minute, and in between the 33rd and the 54th minute, you have Salah scoring in the 47th and Mane scoring in the 49th.
Mm-hmm.
So the destruction came in the second half.
Yep.
Atalanta still had some bit of hope going into the locker room 2-0 at halftime, and Liverpool said, "Forget about that." So they're lacking in defense. They surely aren't lacking up front, and this goes back to the conversation we had yesterday. Firmino is in trouble in the sense that he's going to lose out his starting role to Diogo Jota. Uh, he's scoring game winners in the Premier League, hat trick on a Champions League night away from home. Against a ferocious attacking Atalanta that we didn't even get to witness. They weren't able to score, so that's unfortunate. Possession went towards Liverpool's way, 55%, 45 for Atalanta, 15 attempts on goal for Liverpool to the 9 made by Atalanta. Atalanta had 6 on target, and Liverpool had 12. So they were both shooting and making attempts. Just Liverpool found the net many more times. 45 dangerous attacks for Liverpool to 35 from Atalanta.
Yep.
And that's your game there. So we move on to Michelin hosting Ajax. Ajax dealing with a COVID situation. I'm not sure if they actually did follow through with this, but they were supposedly only going to take 17 players with them out of 25 available. And this was Michelin's opportunity to
Steal a
get three
point.
points. Yeah, steal a point, get a win. Use the five subs and everything to their advantage. And they didn't do that at all. Ajax with a 2-1 victory. Anthony in the first minute of the game. That's embarrassing. And
Mm-hmm.
then Tadic in the 13th. And then Michelin scores uh, in the 18th. And the player is Dryer. Dryer. Oh, man.
insert washing machine sounds.
Right. 54% for Ajax, 46 for Michelin. 6 attempts Ajax, 9 attempts Michelin. So the scoreline doesn't tell you everything based
No.
on the stats, but and then let's see how many dangerous attacks. 34 for Ajax, 32 for Michelin. So they made moves, they just couldn't find the net. So except once. That's unfortunate. And then we move on to games that were held today. We are now in Group E. Sal, can you let me know what's going on?
Chelsea and Sevilla on top with 7 points each. Krasnodar and Rennes with a point each.
So this group is basically shaping up as we all thought it would, somewhat. We did
Yeah.
have Rennes possibly making some moves, but it looks like Rennes is only worried about the league at the
They got
moment.
cheated. They got cheated by Chelsea.
And I'll ask you in what sense. Actually, I'll ask you now in what sense did they get cheated by Chelsea?
That should not have been a handball or a red card that led to that goal.
Okay. Uh, I don't know. Remember, it is the almighty Chelsea, so
Yeah,
it,
that changed the whole game. That kind of just
it
fucked.
does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, things like that do change the game. But this group was full of red cards today, so that's very interesting. We start with the first game, Sevilla hosting Krasnodar in the Sanchez Pizjuan 3-2 victory for Sevilla, and in a comeback fashion because they went down early 2-0, and they had to fight to make a comeback in this one. I believe I read a stat that Lopetegui was winless against Russian opposition in European competition. It wasn't like many games. I think it was like two or three or something. So Lopetegui gets a win against Russian opposition. Krasnodar, you tried, but sorry, you failed. In the 17th, we have Suleimanov. Suleimanov? I don't know.
I thought it's Sule. I'm not
I'm
gonna
saying
try it. I'm not gonna try it.
Suleimanov.
Yes, let's go with
Suleimanov.
that one. Let's go with that one.
I'm just gonna, use my breakdown of syllables, I guess. He scores in the 17th, and then we got Berg in the 21st scoring a penalty, and then right before halftime, Rakitic, the Croatian, back with Sevilla this season after so many seasons spent at Barcelona and washing away. He scores in the 42nd, and then in the second half, En-Nesyri scores in the 69th and the 72nd. So he gets a brace, and he's considered the hero for the game. I spoke about Luc de Jong last week, that he was, a good striker, a player you could rely on. I would consider him a target man. And Naziri has a little bit more flair to him. Yeah, he's tall, he's somewhat lanky, but he has, a bit more top speed, I would say, than Luc de Jong. So it's a good one too that they have there, and it's good to see in the series, doing his thing, and getting the win for Sevilla there. So Sevilla having struggles in the in La Liga. When I saw that 2-0 early, I was just, oh, well, they're bringing that horrible form now back into the Champions League. So I thought this season was about to get rough for them, but hopefully this turns things around for them. Um, Statistics, let's see. We got 62% for Sevilla, 38 for Krasnodar, 25 attempts for Sevilla, 11 for Krasnodar, 12 on target for Sevilla, 3 dangerous attacks.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 65 for Sevilla, 31 for Krasnodar. And the funny thing is, Sevilla got a red card. I can't remember at what point in the game they got it. I tried looking in the stats to jog
45
them.
plus 4.
Okay, so there you go. So they not only came back with a man down. So okay, yeah, Lopetegui, round of applause for getting your troops through that. Thank you for jogging my memory there, Sal. And we move on to the almighty Chelsea hosting Rennes or Stade de Rennes. 3-0 victory for the almighty Chelsea. Lampard getting his squad into a comfortable form, I guess you could say. 3-0 over the weekend to Burnley. 3-0 today. 4-0 last week against Krasnodar. And it's all thanks. And if you notice the trend here, it's clean sheets, clean sheets, clean sheets, clean sheets.
Kepa?
It's all thanks to the ex-Rennes player, Edward Mendy. So Mendy,
But Kepa.
Kepa is, remember, Jay said he was not doing it for the dub. He's not even at the club.
He's sitting on
At
his
least so
couch,
it
like
seems.
also collecting money.
Yeah, at this point, because I think he really is. Because isn't Peter Cech like always making the squad now?
Yes.
So there you go. Kepa is really not doing it for the dub. Clean sheets for Edward Mendy. I think he has 6 in total.
5.
5. I thought it was 6. What
I'm
are the
keeping
5?
I'm keeping track. 5.
What are the 5?
The 5 are 3 Premier League starts, and then this game and the game before, the other Champions League game from the week before.
Okay, so that's another stat that is incorrect then, because I read 6 earlier today.
5. He matched Peter Cech's first 5 games.
Okay, well, if I find that stat, I'll show you so you can tell him off. So
Oh, I'll tell him off. All right.
all right, sounds good. Werner in the 10th with a penalty, then another penalty in the 41st. If you're keeping track, this is Timo Werner's 10th goal, or 9th and 10th goal in the Champions League, and first 2 at home.
Timo Penver.
So the last 8 were all away goals in the Champions League or his first 8 goals in the Champions League were away. And then we have the boy Abraham in the 50th. So Rennes. Oh, and Rennes with a red card. What minute? That was for what penalty again? 40th.
That was in the 40th minute for the so-called handball, which changed the game.
There you go. And luckily, it didn't get away from them. There was only one more goal scored. It could have been like another 6-0. So that's that. Possession, I'm sure it's leaning one way. 57 for Chelsea, 43. Chelsea with only 9 attempts, 4 on target. Rennes with 8 somehow, and 2 on target. Dangerous attacks, 44 Chelsea, 27 Rennes. So
honestly, without Mendy, Chelsea would be looking at 3rd place probably in this group.
Yeah, easily. But unfortunately, they're sitting at 1 point apiece with Krasnodar. And then we move to Group F. I've been let down, Brujas. I've been let
Yeah.
down. Sal, can you inform me on what the standings for Group F look like?
So Borussia Dortmund are top in the group with 6 points, followed by Lazio 5 points, Club Bruges with 4 points, and last but not least, Zenit with a point.
I feel like Zenit should have came away with the win today,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, they didn't. Um, I believe what was the other team? No, that's a Ukrainian team. Zenit is Russian.
Hmm.
Let me make sure I don't fudge that up. So 1-1 draw for Zenit and Lazio. That was today, 4th November. We have Aerokin in the 32nd
Hmm.
and Casado in the 82nd.
Saving Lazio every game.
Is this, hold on,
It is
uh,
Felipe Caicedo.
the Ecuadorian?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Damn.
He keeps saving them every game.
Throwback, dude. I'm surprised he's still playing. Well, there you have it. Can you give me, do you have the stats on this one?
I do. It is 46% possession for Zenit, 54% for Lazio. Shots 7-4 Zenit versus 15 for Lazio. 2 on goal for Zenit and 3 on goal for Lazio.
Okay. Okay. Uh, I don't know. Zenit, I feel bad for you. So we move on to the next game.
Yes.
It's all Dortmund in this one. Club Bruges, aka Las Brujas, hosting Borussia Dortmund, and they go down 3-0. Uh, Thorgan Hazard in the 14th. At least there's a Hazard scoring in the Champions League. Holland in the 18th and in the 32nd. So he has a brace. And like we were talking about earlier, right? We were talking about Holland. Yeah, because he brought up the
Yeah.
stat. So for some reason I was thinking that was before we came on live and all that stuff. So yeah, 50-50 possession. That's interesting. 11 attempts for Las Brujas, 12 for Dortmund, 4 on target for Brujas, 6 on target for Dortmund, 36 dangerous attacks for Dortmund to 37 from Las Brujas.
It was a tighter game than what the score shows. I mean, it just took special goals for Brujas to really lose that game, and special goals have to come from special players. And are you sure Madrid didn't like accidentally bid on the wrong Hazard? They looked at Thorgan Hazard and said, "Yeah, we want that guy," but they got the other guy instead.
That's what I'm saying, man. And Thorgan's always been low key super good. Um, so I'm just surprised. I don't know. I'm glad that his brother's doing things in the Champions League. I won't get my hopes up about Eden Hazard anytime soon. If he scores, thank you. If not, well, they haven't really done it yet, so whatever. I'm looking here at the lineups. Mignolet in goal. Uh, Unfortunately, he never gets. I'm just trying to see. There's a name I'm looking for in Las Brujas. I don't think. Who's the dude that did the Ronaldo celebration at Madrid?
Who
You remember
was
that?
it? I'm trying to remember.
I don't see. I don't remember like the number
I
here.
don't remember either.
Hmm. Oh, unfortunate. Anywho, we'll move on. Group G. We have the GOAT playing against Ferencváros in Hungary. And it's funny. So Morata was supposed to hold things down while Ronaldo was dealing with COVID. Um, and you could tell it was BS because of the way that he decided not to even speak on the matter. So there's something fishy up about that, but we won't get into conspiracies or anything. We'll just move along. And the first game, Ferencváros hosting Juventus, 4-1 win for Juve.
Mhm.
Uh, what's the nickname they give him? I always forget it.
The old lady.
Yeah, I like the way it's said in Spanish. I'm trying to remember how it's said.
Uh,
Something Senora, Signora. I can't remember. But anyways, when I hear it next time, I'll say it for the next time. We have Morata scoring in the 70th and the 60th minute, so he gets a brace. Oh, look, Dybala magically appears, and he scores in the 73rd.
Mm-hmm.
And then Diwali scores an own goal in the 81st.
Oh, so Signora City.
I think it might be that.
Oh no, there it is. No, Vecchia Signora.
There you go.
Vecchia Signora.
Thank you, Sal. Always coming through, man. I appreciate it. And then we have for Fenerbahce, Boli scoring in the 90th, uh, consolation goal. Unfortunate that Juve couldn't get the clean sheet there. What do we got here? 52% possession for Juve, 48 for Fenerbahce. That's kind of, close game there,
Yeah.
at least in the possession battle. Attempts 17 for Juve, 11 for Varos, 3 on target for Varos, 8 on target for for Juve. And then dangerous attacks 40 Juve, 29 Varos. So it's very interesting that Morata can appear against Dynamo Kiev, blank out against Barcelona, and then appear against Ferencváros. Um, I'm rooting for the boy. Feel like he has more potential than he's shown, and that everybody gives him credit for. Uh, and did Ronaldo play in this game?
He did.
He did. So, oh yeah, that's right. Because we were
Yeah.
saying we wanted him to
He
do
he
hat trick
gave
and all that.
he assisted Murata on the goals.
Okay, so he didn't score, but in a way, he did. Um, so I don't know, Morata. Well, now we got Morata and Ronaldo when they play Barcelona coming up, so that's going to be interesting. Um, and we move on to the next game in this Group G. Barcelona hosting Dynamo Kiev. Dynamo, you gave it all you got. Unfortunately, you lose 2-1. Messi scores in the fifth penalty. Pessi. And then we have Piqué scoring in the 65th. And then, oh man, Sigankov in the 70th.
Siganov.
For real?
Siganov. Yeah.
Well, go F myself, I guess, because
Victor Siganov.
thank you, Sal. In the 75th. Um, apologies for mispronouncing your name. I'm known for that, so you're welcome. Uh, it was a crazier game. I watched a little bit here and there while doing things in the house. And the stats aren't going to show that, but let me see. Does it show here? No, it doesn't either. But Ter Stegen really
He came
saved,
up
yeah,
big.
saved the bejesus out of Barcelona. It's his first game back, I believe. Yeah, his first game back. Neto was manning the net while he was gone in his 57% possession for Barcelona, 43 for Dynamo Kiev, 22 attempts for Barcelona, 8 for Dynamo Kiev. But here's the interesting stat: 7 on target. So out of 8 attempts, 7 on target. They did get a goal, and like we said, Ter Stegen is just amazing. And then the funny thing is, quick little fact: Barca are thinking of selling Ter Stegen to Bayern Munchen because of financial uh, problems. So there's
Oh
that.
well, damn.
Yeah. 22 attempts for Barca, like I said, 14 on target. So Barca as well could have scored more, but thanks to the boy Ter Stegen, as we keep saying, 82 dangerous attacks for Barca, 30 for Dynamo Kiev. Dynamo Kiev, do they even have a point?
Yeah, they do.
1 point.
1 point. Yeah.
Yeah, they're you know I probably didn't pick Ferencváros to do much in this group, but midway in this group stage, I'm gonna change it, and I hope that they make it to the Europa Leagues. Especially it being their first time in the Champions League, it'll just be nice. Club Bruges did it last season. First trip to Champions League, they made it to Europa. So let them continue feeling the presence of nice European nights.
Hey, they got some nice kits though, Barros. So I wouldn't mind seeing those continue in Europe.
There you go. So yeah, Dynamo Kiev. I don't know, man. I don't know. And then to the beautiful group that Sal has predicted to this point, correct. Group H. Can you give me the standings?
Salstradamus predictions are coming true, people. It's coming true. It's gonna come to life. Manchester United are top in the group, followed by RB Leipzig, Paris Saint-Germain, and finally Istanbul Başakşehir.
And the interesting part about it, it's the points go 6-6, 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, imagine Istanbul Başakşehir makes it to the Europa League.
That would be one of the trolliest trolls Group H could throw out, and I would love it.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. So Istanbul Başakşehir, speaking of them, hosting the Red Devils of Manchester United, and the boy Demba Ba, former Premier League player, brings back that former Premier League form, scores in the 13th minute. And then we have Visca scoring in the 40th, Martial starting the comeback in the 43rd. But unfortunately, there is no comeback. Istanbul Başakşehir takes the 2-1 win versus the Red Devils. Let's look at the stats, people.
You know, I joked around when we made our predictions that Istanbul Başakşehir was going to win 2-something.
Mm-hmm.
I should have just kept my fucking prediction.
You should have. I was surprised. I didn't really watch the game. I did see highlights here and there. And I did watch, I believe, the last 10 minutes of the game. Commentators are saying that Rafael had one hell of a game.
He did.
And he even showed it in those last 10 minutes that I was watching, making tackles and just holding it down with the rest of the defense to secure.
Rio Ferdinand on Twitter afterwards. Why did we sell him?
Yeah, I believe you sent that in the chat, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I knew I read that somewhere. 38% possession for Istanbul, 62 for Man United. Man United has this reputation of holding the ball well in possession, but doesn't seem to ever be able to do things, especially when they're put against a brick wall, I guess, aka defense.
Yep.
9 attempts for both teams, 3 on target for Istanbul, 2 for Man United. 72 dangerous attacks for Man United to just a measly 17 from Istanbul. But with those 17, Istanbul got away with 2 goals, takes the dub. What did you notice with Man United in that game compared to the route that they gave RB Leipzig and then the defensive masterclass they had against PSG?
First of all, that wasn't a diamond that they played. I think that's the first mistake that Ollie did. He should have gone with his diamond formation and the players. At this point, I don't start Pogba. I really don't. I would sit him on the bench and let Van der Beek come on, just because he is such a better player right now at this point. Let Pogba gain his form somehow. But God, I don't know where to start with Manchester United. I mean, like you said, Mario, they can have such a great game against PSG. They could have such a great game against RB Leipzig, and then all of a sudden, boom, they blow themselves up in their own faces. And that's kind of the joke is they're Arsenal gonna Arsenal, but now it's like United gonna United at this point. And I feel bad for them. I mean, there is no other team in the Premier League that I would want to see do well other than United. And that's just because of rivalry sakes, going back to what I feel is the original Premier League rivalry. But God, I mean, Justin's in the comments. I mean, that coaching decisions, It all comes down to Ollie at this point.
He said it earlier in our group chat too that he could be great one day and just total crap the next. Um, I'm not sure that's what you want out of your manager. You want some consistency. Uh, yeah, just I was shocked. Um, I had to laugh at 1-0. I'm not gonna lie. I expected a little bit better. I thought they were going to turn around. I even predicted a 3-0 win for Man United, so I did expect them to turn it around. And then you go and see 2-0, and then 2-1. So when you see 2-1, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to turn it around. And I tune in for the last 10 minutes. It's still 2-1, and then you see why. Istanbul just played a great defense. They got their goals, and they just wanted to hold on to that lead. And nothing wrong with that. Plenty of managers have, you know, made I guess, a winning formula out of that.
Those, yeah.
So, so yeah, you have Mourinho, you have Simeone, and the list goes on. Um, so, and then we'll move on. We have another 2-1 victory. This one goes for RB Leipzig, uh, hosting PSG, Paris Saint Germain. Um, Di Maria kicks things off in the 6th minute, and then you have Nkuku, former PSG academy player, I believe it was,
Yes.
in the 42nd, and then Forsberg. Sounds like a hockey player name. Well, it is a hockey player name, but anywho, Forsberg in the 57th, and that is off a penalty, and that gives Leipzig the 2-1 victory. PSG with 2 red cards in this game. Where did these red cards come in?
These red cards came in the 69th minute and then 90 plus 5 right at the dead.
Oh, okay, so they were probably getting desperate at that point, even being down a man for about 20 minutes. Um, so that's just probably a dumb mistake on PSG's part, but it makes very interesting for this group. Um, do you see PSG making it into one of the top 2 positions at the rate that they're going?
No, not at the rate they're going. I think at the end of the day, Thomas Tuchel is gonna get sacked. At what point he gets sacked, I don't know, but he will get sacked eventually, and that's saying a lot because he can't control this team. I think the Eagles are finally starting to collide, and injuries as well. Having Neymar out, having Mbappe out, having Icardi out, that kind of doesn't help them at that point. So
I think it's like somewhat of an imposter syndrome, in the sense that he has Mbappe, he has Neymar, right? So he feels like he can be known as a great manager. But then first he loses Neymar, and then right before this Champions League round, he loses Mbappe. And it's kind of like saying, if you're a basketball coach, you're like, oh, I got LeBron and 1 or 2 other players that are decent. I'm going to be okay. I can just basic coaching, team's going to do what the team's going to do, right? Because at the end of the day, LeBron's one of the greatest players in basketball. So you would say the same about Neymar, and you would say the same about Mbappe. But the thing is, you have 2 of them. It's like saying you have 2 LeBron James on the pitch. One with flashiness and flair, the other one with just downright speed and natural born talent, uh, that he's shown since he was like 18.
oh,
Uh,
let me ask you this, since we're on the subject of Neymar, and he's been injured every single year that he's been in PSG, and always around the same time, right? That he misses Champions Leagues and important games. Can it come down to his managers letting him play the way he plays? Because in Barcelona, was he this injured all the time?
no.
So does it come down to the managers just letting Neymar have his way on the pitch without really coaching him?
It could, because when we watched the Man United PSG game, it looked like a PSG team that every player did what every player wanted to do. There wasn't a set tactic. It wasn't like this is what we're gonna do as a team, and this is how we're gonna keep the flow, in our terms, so that we can control this game. It was like this guy does this, Neymar and Mbappe do this together. Di Maria sometimes fills in a little, pass here and there, or runs, makes a run here. Uh, and then against Istanbul, they were struggling at first. Istanbul looked like they could have snuck away with a goal and just won 1-0 and sat back.
Yep.
But Moise Keane, scored a goal, then scored another one, and then so they easily closed out that game. Um, but it was a scare for them at first. It wasn't an easy win against Istanbul. So then coming into this Leipzig game, you're missing Neymar and Mbappe. And back to your question, yeah, I guess letting Neymar do what he wants to, play his style, and flips and tricks and diving, and all that. Which is, I'm kind of downing him a little bit, but he is a great player, and sometimes he does pull all those things off. But there's players in League One that are getting tired of it, so he gets, the harsh treatment and things of that nature, and they pay for it when it comes down to Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you, the last thing you want is to lose Mbappe. That happens. Di Maria is a good player, whether you want to agree or not. He has Champions League history. He's won plenty of trophies in his day. Yeah, he made a sissy move when he got transferred to the Premier League. That's neither here or there, but it happened. Whatever. So some people might look at him differently in that sense. But talent wise, he's a good player. Yes, he's a whiner. It's given, every Argentinian player is. They like to cry. Um, but he's not a type of player that can replace Mbappe and Neymar. And when you don't have, and I believe they were missing Icardi as well.
Yes, they were.
So, Moise Keane left up there to do everything. We all love the kid. We all, want to see him do great. But on nights like these, it's hard for him to do it. You're counting on him to do it. It's a lot to ask for. If it was Mbappe, Moise Keane, different story. Di Maria, Moise Keane, no, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Tuchel, yeah, you're right. Tuchel might be gone soon. He's not a great manager at all. He just looks like one because he steamrolls the Ligue 1 and has two players that can get him to a Champions League final. But I will say this: I looked at the PSG lineup before the game started. Whether it be Moise Keane or not, that starting 11, a lot of clubs across Europe would love to have that starting 11. I'll say that right now. It's not a bad starting 11.
Yeah, but you put any other manager, put in Ancelotti with those guys, put put Pep with those guys. I don't give a damn who the guy is. You can put Villa Boas with that club. They'd probably do a lot better than what Tuchel's doing.
Yeah, and that's the problem. So yeah, Tuchel is the problem. All right, and so that was your scores and your group breakdowns. Sal, do your thing, man.
All right, since our good man Jay isn't here,
I want to do this.
I am bringing you for the dub today, everybody. And no need to explain for the dub anymore. I think we got that out of the way the past 3 shows. But this week's for the dub, I'm giving it to the one, the only, Erling Haaland. Round of applause to the boy. Round of applause. Boy breaking records left and right in the Champions League. He loves to score. He just, for some reason, he is like Zlatan, like a Ronaldo, like a Messi. Just put the ball in front of him and he'll score the ball. Doesn't matter. I'll give a slight nod to Mendy at Chelsea because without Mendy, let's face it, Chelsea ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. But let's get to the good part. Those who are doing it not for the dub. This is where it gets interesting. I'm going to give it to two managers. It is first Thomas Tuchel, everybody, and the one and only Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ollie's at the wheel, ladies and gentlemen. And the wheels are freaking falling off this mother effing bus. Let me get to Tuchel first. The man was at Dortmund. I think somehow he got Dortmund working well, and all of a sudden his fraud side's coming out. And how do you say fraud in German? Because that's exactly what he is, a fraud. A fraud line is a woman, but that FieldTalk Benzi calling him a Madeline. All right, Thomas Tuchel, the Madeline, and now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ole, oi, oi. What's wrong with you, bro? What's wrong? You get the formula right for 2 games, 2 damn games against 2 opponents who you had no business in beating. 2 opponents on paper who should have wiped the floor with their ass, all right? Should have used you as toilet paper, as Charmin. Not even Charmin. You were more, you were more like Scott, all right? 1-ply motherfucking toilet paper, all right? But here you are coming out like Charmin, all right? You are coming out like Bounty, cleaning up this mess, all right? You cleaned up all these fucking messes, and then for some reason, you run into Arsenal. You run into Mikel Arteta, and he wipes the floor with your ass. Not really wipe the floor with your ass, but all right. You had a good game. And now you come up against Istanbul. Istanbul, who is what's a bootleg brand of toilet paper? I don't know. What would you say is a bootleg brand?
Man.
I don't know. Whatever a bootleg brand of toilet paper is, all right?
You just ran out of toilet paper.
Exactly. You ran out of toilet paper, and you got to use your socks. You got to use your damn socks, all right? Istanbul just came in and say, you know what? Fuck you. We're going to install a bidet, and we're going to wipe our asses with your ass. And bam, they just wipe the floor with their ass. And I don't know what you're doing with your subs, boy, but oi, oi, oi. Get the fuck out of Manchester and let a Pochettino come in at this point.
It seems more likely. I believe Jay said that it was Ole getting, or Ole, as I like to say, hot seat, or seat getting hot. My English is horrible right now. So yeah, he's definitely not doing it for the dub. Tuchel definitely not doing it for the dub. And who was it? Who did it for the dub? Haaland, right?
Haaland, and a special consideration to the boy Mendy, who, you know, without him, the almighty Chelsea would not be Chelsea. And as much as I make fun of Havertz, you know, I still like the kid, and get well. You did come up with the virus, so we'll see you again in 14 days.
Yeah, we only talk crap about you on the field, not personal.
Yeah.
Well, Sal does. Correction.
I'm still gonna be following you when you come back, boy.
So yeah, I was gonna do for a dub, but I just don't have that energy. I'm not that type of energy guy. So I'm gonna leave it to the guys that know how to take care of that. So that was for the dub, presented by Sal Antonio. Salstradramus, as he likes.
Hey man, I'm gonna change my name to Sal Antonio now, to @Sal Antonio.
you know where I get that from, right? Well, I don't know if he still works for ESPN, but I think it's something Palantonio, I think is his last name. So I just changed it to Sal Antonio, but I forget.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Dude, the little short dude with the earwax, Jay. The little dude with the comb over or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Keep it coming, bro. I'm reading for days. It's not bothering me. You can say all that, but I think it makes me laugh that it bothers you so much. Sorry, guys, reading the comments here. What are they going to say? So, yeah, that is for the dub. If you guys got to this point, thank you for listening. The boy Jay is calling me soft. As always, nothing ever changes. It's Sal Palantonio, right? Okay.
Yeah, so Sal Palantonio. The NFL analyst. Yeah.
Thank you for that one, Jay. I knew you'd come through. So yeah, if you got to this point, thank you for listening. if you're on YouTube, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, subscribe if you're new. You can hit the notification bell so you know when we set the schedule for the upcoming recording on YouTube. For those of you on streaming apps, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Anchor, all that jazz, hit the follow button. Keep track of the content that we're always coming out with. We made this big spiel thing that we're always going to bring content, and we literally are. We're ending the year on a super high note. We got watch parties on watch parties coming up ahead. There was something. We got a new segment or just a whole new show style coming up. I will give you guys a sneak peek, let's say tomorrow via Twitter. So with that being said, speaking of Twitter, Sal, finish it off, bro.
So you can find us at our Twitter handles. I am at FieldTalk Soccer. The gaffer to my right is at FieldTalk Benzi. The man in the comments is FieldTalk_. Just send him a comment. He loves it. He loves all those beautiful comments. He'll comment you back with whatever you want. Trust me, he'll do it. And I ain't got nothing else after that.
All right. Well, if you guys didn't get a hold of that, or you don't know how to read English and see our Twitter handles on the screen, peep the description below. All the links are there. I believe the only one we're missing is our Instagram, which is what? At FieldTalk?
At FieldTalk_.
Boom. So there you go. There's the one that we were missing. We will keep coming with content, and more content. Tomorrow, we have Premier League Match Week 8 preview right before the international break. So stay tuned for that. Let me look at the comments one more time. Nope. Let's block that one. Hopefully you guys did not read that.
Oh.
The man just, I said tomorrow, and he goes and all right.
Look at that.
So yeah, I lost my train of thought. So with that, I'm gonna leave it here. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
Ciao, people.